It's the Bill Howard Show. It's the Bill Howard Show.
The Liberty Bell is ringing loud and clear here, coast to coast, from the north to the south, the east to the west. Freedom. It's ringing freedom, folks. Freedom from everything. To be truly free. That's our mission here. That's the libertarian way, and if you love libertarian radio, you are in the right place. We want freedom. We want freedom from taxes that hurt us rather than benefit us. We want freedom from the liberal technocrats that are destroying this country, and freedom from the government. Let's get rid of those guys. Anyway, a lot of house cleaning before we get to our guest, and let me just tease that a little bit here. We've got a doozy of a guest today. He's a scholar, a gentleman, and a bit of a mystic. He's a Canadian, so you know my wife likes him, and I knew we were gonna get to this. By the way, a lot of you nice folks have been asking me about my current marriage situation. Yes, my marital status has changed again, but this time for the better. That's right, I said the better, and I got myself a new wife. Anyway, so yeah, I got married. Okay, we've been going back and forth between girlfriend and fiance and partner, life partner, permanent love assistant, of all those silly titles. And we've also been going back and forth on locations too. Are we San Francisco? Are we Toronto? Are we Canadian? Are we American? Well, we finally took the plunge. And I mean literally took the plunge. We had one of those let me ask my producer, Wes, have you heard of these bungee weddings? I had a bungee wedding, folks. Yeah. So I strapped myself. This is just, I've never done anything like this before. I've never bungee jumped before. And I decided with my new wife, I said, if we can get through this, honey, we can get through anything. And I strapped myself to my wife and a preacher, the pastor, and the three of us leapt off the Oakland Bay Bridge, and we said our vows in midair. And then we were pulled back up onto the bridge, and we were proclaimed husband and wife. It was so exhilarating. God, it was... anyway, we got back on that bridge, and the experience just kind of hit us all at once, and my wife threw up. It was intense. And then we had a lovely honeymoon. We went to Sausalito. And after the vertigo and the vomiting stopped, my wife had a good time. Wes, you should do that. Jump off a bridge with your betrothed. Not married yet? We're practicing social distancing, folks. Wes is kind of hard to... he's a hard man to track down. I think he's in his car right now, and through the wonders of technology, he's actually producing this show on his phone. And he's out... Where are you, Wes? He's in his car. Like I said, my wife, she's Canadian, so no one's perfect, right? No, we're doing we're doing couples yoga with this great teacher. Gosh, she's something. I'm a red-blooded American. When I see a nicely shaped female in tights stretching in front of me, this woman's got me twisting around in a room, doing all kinds of things, and it's literally 100 degrees. It's called hot yoga, and it is hot. And she is, anyway, she's something else. And I told my wife, jokingly, of course, if she wasn't vegan, I would run away with her, honey. I said, that's just couples humor. My wife gets it, but she's playful too. And so after I said that, Vera, my wife, reels back and socks me right in the kidney. Anyway, I hear yoga does wonders, but all I got out of that class was heat stroke and blood pee. She said if we were in Canada, we could see a doctor for free. I said no. If I'm peeing blood, I don't need to see a doctor, honey. It's not that big of a deal. And anyway, we have lots of argument because, whoa, she's Canadian. I don't know why. Much like my first wife, Lucita from Bolivia, God rest her soul, when she eventually dies, she's still alive, I'm told, but she didn't understand freedom as well. Freedom to choose. Freedom not to have health care. And it was too much for her. And so that and other things that I did, to be fair, and she did as well, ended that whole situation. But some people are used to being servile to their government. Not Americans. Not Americans. Not us, boys. Why do I... But I just don't know. Why do I keep falling for these quasi-socialist brunettes with long legs? I don't know. I guess I'm able to see... I'm able to look past their ideological failings and focus on their physical beauty. That's just... I don't know. I'm a passionate person, and I like people, and I'm fair. You know, time and time again, it's the marketplace that creates a good product, not the government. I'm glad I live in a marketplace of products and ideas, and they are floating out there. There's sort of a brilliant... Now, if you read physics, if you look into quantum physics, and there's a great documentary out there. It's all about this. It's called This Is It, Pal. This is the Physics. It's called This Is the Physics, and it's in theaters. It was back in 2006 or something like that, and I saw that with Lucita. And, oh, man, we had a big fight that day. But anyway, physics, what they say now and what they've been saying and what they've just discovered, and this goes back to Einstein. There's a idea web, a brilliant, shiny idea web that hovers above us in a fourth dimension. And if we think on it hard enough, as free Americans one day, there will be, and this is what the Bible tells us too, by the way, not just Einstein, but it goes back to the Bible. There's some missing chapters there, I think. They found them in Lake Oswego or something, up near Portland. And if we think on it hard enough as free Americans, there will be a rift in space-time fabric that physicists have been going on about this stuff. And once that rift stuff, all that fourth dimensional stuff will just fall into our laps and we'll be rich. Every last one of us, every man, woman, child will be free and rich. So focus on that rich stuff. All right, folks, we've got a great guest for you coming up. Author and professor of Jungian psychology at the Manitoba Institute of Large Men, Peter Jordanson is with us. But first, let's check the Media Scoreboard.
Media Scoreboard.
Media Scoreboard.
Media Scoreboard.
The Media Scoreboard, folks. Freedom Fighters 1, Liberal News Media 0. That's right. Many papers today are talking about Trump and how he's cracking down on protesters and also talking trash to China as usual, ramping up his criticism of China, saying they're behind the coronavirus. newspapers and their lapdogs are scolding Trump, saying, "Oh, you can't say that. How dare you criticize China? Oh no, don't hurt their feelings. So all they do is just steal our technology and spread." Well, let him say what he wants. He's the president, for God's sakes. I wouldn't. That's the toughest job in the world. Now, Trump speaks freely and openly on these things, and he doesn't pull any punches. And he doesn't get mired in the PC soup that these infantile journalists do. And, I didn't support him at first. I was a Ron Paul guy. Let's destroy the Fed and bring our troops home. I mean, I'm skeptical, of course, that the Chinese actually created a virus to unleash on the world. But in the end, who would you rather listen to? The Communist Party, who have every reason to cover up the fact that they created a virus, or our president, who is under attack every news cycle by the liberal media? Folks, it comes down to this. On the one hand, you've got a party bent on silencing all dissenting voices. My way or the highway, pal, claiming to be the victim. And on the other hand, you have China, who's, both are trying to silence the media, but only one is trying to silence the press in the name of free speech. So I got to side with Trump here. Okay, that's our media scoreboard. Let's do some ads. What do we got here? What was that? What? No ads. Oh, really? We lost the... Oh, jeez. Back Ape. We lost our Back Ape ad sponsor. Well, folks, I apologize. I just want to be free and independent, but again, because of the government hyping up this corona thing, we've lost some of our most beloved advertisers, like Back Ape. Remember? Get the monkey off your back with the easy-to-use back hair trimmer. Set of clippers, comes complete with a extended reach handle. I'm shifting around too much, sorry. I've got a big butt, and it makes a boom noise. The set of clippers comes complete with an extended reach handle, and I don't know why I'm saying this. You know what the Back Ape is, but I guess we can't. I'm sure they'd love if I advertised for free, but hey. So that's too bad. They're gone. Or Cindy's cinder blocks. Remember those? Designer cinder blocks. More for the ladies, but you can spruce up your garden with cinder blocks that look like things like animals and rabbits or snails. And of course, our most recent ad sponsor, the search engine stupidquestions.com. Stupidquestions.com. Well, now that they don't sponsor the show, the last Stupid Questions .com was actually my nephew's idea. Truth be told, my nephew, he made this thing. You just type in a question on the website and Google answers it. So really, the kid's in, and I felt bad for the kid, and I gave him a shot. The kid's in and out of these internet detox camps that his parents send him to, and then he gets out and he has a new idea for a business, and then we think, hey, he might be able to finally support himself, but his idea ends up relying heavily on the internet, and you see the vicious cycle continues. So I'm sorry, Patreon is the only way to keep this libertarian submarine. Libertarian submarine. I like that. Anyway, to keep this libertarian submarine silent and deadly. I'm still working on a sexy but apt analogy for the show. Folks, if you pledge just $1 a month, you can get extra content, like a preview of my upcoming book, The Liberty Bell. It's part autobiography and part me laying out my platform for a campaign. Now, I'm not saying I'm running for government office. I don't believe in government, but it is a plan to secede from the current government and create a utopia within the current America, preferably somewhere around Big Sur in Northern California. It's just a beautiful country up there. So join me on Patreon today. Now let's get to my guest. He's not Well, then who is that? Oh, we got a call. Oh, I think I know who this is. It's Cathy, right? Cathy, are you there?
Hi, Belle. I'm here.
Traddy, Cathy.
Don't call me that. That's what your minions call me on your social networks and your message boards, and I'm sick of it. And every time I talk on this show, now listen, I am a woman, and I want to be respected, and I don't want to take any crap from your followers.
I'm sorry, Cathy. We'll take care of that. We'll hunt these guys down. And look, I want you to come on the show anytime you want. I really admire you. I respect you. And I think you're a deeply spiritual person, and you're just interesting to talk to. So,
Well, thank you. I know you mean that, and I believe you. And Belle, I have a spiritual journey that most people would die to have, and some people die believing they're going to have that similar spiritual journey that I had. But I had it. I was lucky enough to have it at a very early age, and now I am a fully formed human being. I don't need to go outside of my house.
but Cathy, you really do. I mean, sometimes you got to just take a walk around the neighborhood, or go outside in your big backyard.
I would go outside in my big backyard, but last time I told you I tripped in a gopher hole, and I'm laid up. I have a broken ankle, and I'm just in my house right now.
Well, how do you practice your religion? I mean, you're Catholic, deeply Catholic, and how do you have like a satellite feed to Rome? Are you watching Pope TV? What do you do?
I don't watch Pope TV because I don't recognize Pope as the Pope is the earthly vicar, but he is superseded by the superterrestrial vicar in Andromeda Galaxy. His name is Yorg XM7, and he's a lovely man, and that's who I wanted to talk to you about today, because he is the true Pope. I mean, the Earth is just one part of the universe, and it's not the biggest part of the universe. Okay, it is a very tiny, insignificant part of the universe. In fact, there are many Earths like it, and there are many earthly vicars all over the place. They're like the gopher holes in my backyard. I mean, you put cyanide down one hole and it pops up. I'm not saying I want to put. Look, now you've got me talking in a circle, and this is what people complain about, and they talk to me about this on social media, and I'm sick of it, Belle. And I'm no dummy. I have 157 IQ. Okay, so I can spar with the best of them. But.
All right, Cathy, you're getting excited, and I want you to calm down. But listen, my question was, how do you practice your religion? What do you do?
Every Sunday, I go into a somnambulous state. That's like sleepwalking, and I walk around the house and I see things. I go to different places. Look, this all started back when I was a back when I was a little girl. I was raised Methodist, okay, and then I became a Presbyterian, and then my father wanted us to join a Baptist church, and then my mother became bipolar. So, go figure. And I was taken to one church one night, and my mother told me, she said, "Wait outside. Don't go in the church. Don't come in." And I said, "Mom, I want to, I'm not excited to be here, but, I don't want to just wait outside." She said, "Don't come in." And she had this weird look in her eye. She was somewhere else, Belle. I don't know where she was, but she wasn't here. And she told me to wait, and I waited outside. And I looked up at the sky, and Belle, it was the clearest night you've ever seen. The stars were so twinkly. They were twinklier than usual. And one of them started descending towards me. And I thought, oh my God, there's an airplane coming and we're all going to die. And I thought, God is raining down his vengeance on us. And this thing kept coming closer and closer and closer.
Now, wait a minute. You were by yourself. Were there anyone else around you?
No, they were all in the church. They were all inside.
All right. So you see this thing coming towards you, and it comes down, and it's a spaceship, right?
Well, not exactly. It's like a car. It's like an old Buick, but it's new and it's shinier and there are no wheels. It hovers, Belle. Because this technology, it doesn't even exist in our planet. It's super technology. It's super real, is what I mean.
All right. I'm not sure I know what you mean by that, but so anyway, you get into this Buick like hovercraft.
Yes, and it whooshes me instantly across the galaxy. I mean, instantly whooshes me.
It whooshes you.
It whooshed me so hard. My hair just flew back, and I looked like the Bride of Frankenstein.
Well, I can I know how that feels. I just whooshed off the Oakland Bay Bridge with my betrothed, and we bounced back because it was a bungee wedding.
Okay, well, back to my story. So we get to this planet, and we're there, and it was incredible, Belle. It was a temple. It was a church like you have never seen. And there were so many things. Well,
Well, can you describe it to us? I mean, I'm really curious about this part. You see this temple, this church. What's it made out of? What does it look like? What are the materials of this church?
well, I can't really. Well, I couldn't even. Uh, there were things I couldn't describe, but I can now. But I won't. But also, there was a lot of oak.
Oak. Oh, wood. There's lots of wood. They have wood there. I mean, are trees growing there like they do here?
The pews were oak. Anyway, I can't. They have everything that we have. They have all the technology. They're not dummies. Their IQ is astronomical.
All right, all right. So then you're at this church, and then what happened?
Well, they said mass. They held a mass, and after the mass, they said, "Look," they said, "You have something for us." I said, "I don't have anything for you. You just picked me up in California. I didn't bring anything with me." And they said, "Yes, look in your hands." And I looked in my hands, and Belle, what do you think I saw?
A picture of your mother or a picture of your family, and they wanted to bring your family back. They said we want to bring your whole family to the church or something. I don't know.
No, they said that I looked in my hands. It was a box, Belle, and I opened the box, and what did I see? I saw donuts.
Donuts.
Donuts. A box filled with donuts, and we took these donuts together, and we ate them in another room, and we drank coffee, and we had a lovely time. And I've been going back ever since, and I don't need to fly in the Buick anymore. I just have to commune and travel psychically. So so I've been going back ever since.
Extraordinary. So you travel all this way to another galaxy, and they don't impart. Well, they teach you the faith, which has obviously been a benefit to you. And what's more is they've got donuts.
They've got some delicious donuts, and I don't eat sweets usually. I'm not a sweet eater, but I will have a donut in a different galaxy.
As would I. I've got a sweet tooth, and you can tell when I sit in a chair. I mean, the hinges creak.
Oh, Bill. Well, I'm not exactly Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis over here. I've let myself go a little bit. Oh dear, Johnny, I told you no breakfast. Oh, no, tell your sister, too. You guys, get out of here. I told you no more breakfast this month. It's Lent. They're giving up breakfast for Lent.
Those are all your cats. You've got lots of cats, don't you, Kath?
Yeah, I do. I'm a crazy cat lady. Is that what you're going to say?
No, not at all.
Well, there's more fodder for your minions on your social networks and your message boards.
Kathy, I told you we'll take care of that. I'll get my my crack team of hackers on it, and we will descend on those no goodniks and extinguish their accounts. And don't you worry.
Well, Bill, I have to go. I have to filter some water. So, and also, when I get my strength back, I will probably do something about those gopher holes. An online friend who I met last week is sending me a 45 Magnum.
Kathy,
Yes, Bill?
be careful with that thing.
All right.
All right, Kathy, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye, Bill. Love your show.
Thank you. All right, that was Cathy, Traddy Cathy, as we call her. And we'll get to some other callers in just a minute, but first we're going to take a break. Stay tuned.